Welcome everybody. We're back out on the job, just taking a look at what we got to do here. It's been a minute since I've been on this job. I usually do it once a year, a little over a year I think since the last time I was here, and it's grown up a lot. We got a lot to do here. So yeah, we're back out on a familiar job, and it's just a lot more grown up than I remember it. I can't see nothing in there, but let's take a look at what we got, what we're doing, what we're using, and we'll get started. It's a beautiful day for some mulching. All right, got the Mini with little Munch here, and so we got this lot here that I maintain for a commercial landowner that I do a lot of work for. So they got this lot right here, and I usually bush hog this once a year. You can't see it, but if you guys aren't familiar with this, there's a pond right on the other side of that grass right there. There's a little pond right there. So we've got to get in there and get around that pond. And then this is a ditch embankment here that we got to cut down. And yeah, that I can't see that pond for nothing in there. Let's walk down here real quick. Okay, this is new. I'm walking through here, and the pond has gone. Somebody filled it in. That's news to me because it ran all the way up to this willow right here. It kind of curved around and came right here to this willow. And then this was like a little low section here. And then there was this pond here. And I mean, it wasn't much of a pond, but it was a pond. And yeah, so that's all gone. Well, I'll be danged. That the owner did not inform me of that. Who the heck did that, and when did that happen? Jeez, that was a lot of dirt too. I can tell you right now, that was not like, I mean, it wasn't the most massive pond. See all this, yeah, this is all wet in here. It wasn't the most massive pond, but it went basically from like just past those trees, because there was a dam here, and it filled. This was all a pond right here. It had fish and stuff in it. Someone just filled it in. I don't know when that happened. Well, that got interesting real quick. Well, we still got to do this this little edge right here, so we might as well do that. I did not know the pond was gone. He just said to come by here and bush hog the lot, and I've always bush hogged it, but I've always had to come over here with the Mini to do this section because it's low. I actually got the skid steer stuck in that low. There was a low section right here. So this embankment came down. There was a low section right here, and then it came back up, and then the pond was there, and then it had another little side right here that I could walk the Mini. Now it's kind of a weird whole thing. I actually got my skid steer stuck down in this hole, the ASV down in this hole one time. So I just started doing all of this with the Mini all the way from the edge here to the other side of the pond, because I'd cut the pond with the Mini. We just did it all with the Mini, and then all of that back there I did with the skid steer. So that was not told to me. He just said, yeah, we need to get that lot bush hog because it's time for it. Nobody told me crap about that pond being gone. Well, these are kind of things you run into sometimes that people forget to tell you about. You know, if this was a new job, I probably would have come by and taken a look at it. For sure, but this is a lot I've been bush hogging for, golly, 4 or 5 years. Actually at least 5, because I bush hogged that. That's like 12 acres right there. I did that with the John Deere back in like 2020. That part's been separated off. It's been sold. Someone else owns that now, so I don't have to mess with that ever again. That was a nightmare. Oh my gosh. Nightmare. So yeah, but well, the kind of things you run into on jobs sometimes that you don't know about. I'm gonna have to call him and ask him about this. This is not going as expected. Someone put a lot of dirt in there. That was not like little, that was a lot of dirt if you wanted to fill that in. So also, a lot of you guys in the comments have been asking me about the ASV. Where has Big Munch been? Big Munch has been in the shop with an electrical fault. So here's the story. The door on the mulcher is controlled by the joystick. There's some buttons in there. It's electrical. That electrical line goes down into the mulcher and controls a solenoid, which just opens and closes, and it diverts just a little bit of oil from the spinning the drum of the mulcher to open and close the door. All of a sudden the door was working fine, and then I had the up function, but I didn't have down function. So I was getting by with that for a while, not the end of the world. Then I lost everything. I had no up, I had no down. The door just went down, would not come back up. Took it down to CCE, and electrical problems are some of the worst issues to have to figure out on any piece of heavy equipment. So they went through it. They thought it was on the machine side. Then they went through it and they thought, no, it's the mulcher. So they replaced the solenoid in the mulcher. That didn't fix it. So they went back to the machine side, and now they've figured out that they think it is the joystick. It's got a bad joystick. So took Chris a minute down there to figure that out, but I appreciate all his hard work down there working on that at the dealership in Charleston. Talked to him today. Parts are on order, but they're coming from ASV's factory, which is in Minnesota, and they've gotten a lot of snow and bad weather up there. Recently it snowed in the mountains over the weekend, so we're still waiting on parts. They're hopefully going to be here by the end of the week, and I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, that we will get Big Munch back early next week, because I've got a ton of work to do. I've been getting blown up for work with that machine, and I'm just having to tell people, just please be patient with me. They're working on it. So that's what we're dealing with, but fingers crossed we're gonna get the ASV back soon. Yeah, all of that over a joystick. But all right, so anyway, if you guys are liking what you're seeing with this TMC Kinsella, please contact my friends over at CC Equipment. They're a full line dealer of all this awesome TMC Kinsella equipment. Any size excavator, skid steer, PTO tractor, mini skid, we have got it all. They will hook you up. Link and description and promo code in the description below. So I'm here with this machine. We're gonna go ahead and just take care of this little embankment here. This used to be a big drop off, and I was like, man, I remember that being a lot more of a drop off than that. Well, they filled it all with dirt. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and take care of this now. Since I'm here, we'll just cut all this back and give myself a little bit of room to work with the skid steer. Hopefully they packed all that down in there really good. When I come back with the skid steer, I don't get stuck and buried in there. They better have packed it good, because if I bury my skid steer in there, I'm gonna be not happy. So, all right, well, enough talking. Let's get this show on the road. way here. I got the door open because of the sun glare, and we're not mulching anything really big. Squeaking that you hear is not the pins and bushings. It's that cylinder guard right there. It just squeaks when it moves up and down. There's no grease point for it, so I can't keep it from not squeaking. Meticulous about keeping this machine greased, so it's definitely not a pin or bushing. On this side, and because I can use the back side to push that stuff into the lot where I can grind it up. It doesn't have to get thrown out here. See how I push that over there, and then I can come back around, grind that up. Beauty of using a mulcher over a brush cutter. Brush cutter, I'd be throwing stuff everywhere. right, everybody, that's the job. Looks good, everything turned out well. At least I kind of know what the lay of the land is through here now. I think I can do this now with the skid steer and not have too many problems. I'll probably have to do a lot of it, like, because that gets a little steep there, come in this way and come down it. But that's the beauty of that TWF with that door in the front. I can do that. Before I couldn't do that because there was this hole right here and you get stuck because it held water. Looks like they took that dirt all the way back up in there. That was a low spot in there that held water really bad too. First time I ever mowed this with the ASV, I almost got stuck right in there, which wasn't fun. But I did get stuck right over here one day with the ASV and barely got it out without having to go get the Mini. I did get it out, but it was touch and go. But yeah, that looks good. So the ground seems pretty good. They put some really gunky kind of clay dirt in here. You can see that it's really gunky. It's not like sandy. So I mean, it's almost like molding clay. So should be pretty hard ground in here. I didn't see anything really super soft. So I should be able to bring the skid steer in here, knock all this down, no problem. So, all right, well, that'll work. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We made a mountain out of a molehill, but we did this. I'm glad I went ahead. I was here with the machine. Might as well just go ahead and knock it down, see what I'm dealing with, and then that gives me a better lay of the land through there, what I'm dealing, because that grass is so thick in there I can't see nothing. So now I kind of know what we're dealing with, so I feel pretty good about it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get the skid steer back early next week, and this is definitely one of the jobs on my list of things to do. So we're gonna load this thing up. We're going back up to the north end, back on a familiar job again, another familiar job, to do some more work. We need Little Munch up there for two things. We may need the skid steer up there too. I gotta kind of figure out, see what the owner wants to do, but we'll figure that out when we get there. So I'm gonna load this bad boy up and we're gonna get out of here for the day. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I was able to make something out of this today. I got here, I was like, what the heck happened to this pond? But we made it work. So hope you guys are having a great week. Christmas is around the corner. Wishing everybody happy holidays and safe travels if you're going anywhere. And I'll check you guys on the next video. Bye, everybody.